Okay, we were booted off from Ustream had a hiccup, so I've attached the front and the back, and because these are going to be the covers of the book, I'm going to use just the toilet paper rolls instead of having an external binding. So hopefully that'll make it even easier to kind of put together. So this is going to be the back. I'm going to put it aside for a minute, and then decide which of these papers I want in the front or on the next page. And I think I like this polka dot. And I think I'm going to stick with the same ink, the Gathered Twig, for distressing. So I'm going to do that. First I want to make sure that it fits. I don't need to trim anything down, because if I do, I'd rather do it now before I apply the distress. I think that's fine. Okay. And you know, these finger dauber tops don't last forever, because as you're applying something on an edge like this, even though the edge is not sharp to us, to the hand, it will start to rub off some of the little cushion, and after a while it will start to get a little rattier and less attractive. So periodically you either have to get new ones or trim those down. So just want to make sure that I think I like this direction. And I know that my work surface is a little dirty from the distressing, but I don't mind. That way it'll pick up some of it. I don't mind if it does pick up some of it on the paper. It should be fine. I think my chickens are, one of my chickens is trying very hard to fly. Okay, you see that there is now a core visible. So I have everything attached on this one, but you see a core. There's two different things I could do. I could take the same distress gathered twig, which we'll try it, and go over the edge this way, which will cover it without me having to worry about it. That's by far the easiest. Or I could have taken, although I don't have gathered twig because it's one of the limited edition colors, in the marker I could have taken one of the distress markers and done the same thing. So if I was using one of the regular, or one of the original 36 colors to edge. So there's one sleeve. And believe me, it'll go faster once we get going. So now this is going to be the second one. So I have an option. I can either do a coordinating, so exactly the same paper, or I could do something contrasting and choose another paper. And maybe a stripe on this side, maybe polka dot on the next one, like that. Actually, let's just dry fit them. See how I like it. The toile and the stripe, that looks nice together. Another polka dot, and maybe this one. Maybe music note and stripe, and then that's the back one, and I could do this one on here. So now I've dry fitted them, so I know which one is going where, and I've put the other ones off to the side so they're not in my way. let me fit these to see if I need trimming. No trimming needed, so I'm just going to distress both of them and then adhere them. You hear that crow outside? And naturally, when things age, if you're talking about distressing something, it would distress greater at the corners, wherever there's greater coverage to either where they're being put away or when they're being handled. So it's likely that the corners will be more distressed. I usually just go a little heavier on the corners. And then the toile, which I have a enormous fascination with toile, especially in pastel colors, because usually it's greens and browns, but or blacks. Blacks are nice too, but like pinks and lavenders, it's a really cool combination to have a toile. Someone needs to come out with an entire designer pack of just toile papers in all different shades. I would be all over that. Okay, so that one's done. And I could do this production line and attach, do all of the distressing and then attach everything, but I think I kind of like having it all completed one at a time, so I think I really like this toile, like a lot. And again, I'm not worried about the edges because I'm going to go over it with a dauber. Before I do the embellishments, I will definitely clean up my work surface because there is a lot of ink transfer, but I don't mind it on the paper. I kind of actually like the effect that it's creating, some of the distress ink here and there. It looks like it's part of the paper. So that's okay with me. And again, remember the tape, the HEG tape, cures over a few hours, sometimes even overnight. So even though it's easy to pull up now, it'll be less so once it's fully cured to the paper and the toilet paper center. I should probably just edit these as well. Just makes everything look worn. So that's page 2. And now we have page 3, or sleeve 3. It's nice how I had the 2 different glitz designs and they went together. The papers coordinated. think I'm definitely going to need to distress some of the flowers because this is turning out to be more grungy, more distressed than some of the bright and fresh colors that I have pulled out, although they'll still work. It just, they'll require a little bit more treatment. See, I'm picking up some of the colors. See, I even picked up the ink from the roller. Alright, I want to make sure I tuck these in so there's no glue strands on the outside of the paper. It's easier to do at this point than have to rub them off the cardboard later. Oh, it's a little off. On the back. I'm just grabbing all the edges so there's no raw looking paper visible. Everyone's being so quiet. Well, I have a question. Is anyone playing along right now? Did anybody grab some toilet paper rolls and paper to create their own? Oh, good. So you could post it as a video response to the YouTube video. I'd love to see what everybody's created. Oh yes. It's one of those things that, you know, everybody uses toilet paper, as far as I know. And it's just one of those easy things to save up. I think at one point I had so many saved that I actually threw them in the recycler because I just had no more room to save anymore, because there's always more. Although I do like these light gray ones. I mean, I do like the craft automatically, but I rather like the light gray ones as well. You could do, it's usually nicer to do odd number of pages, 3, 5. Once you get beyond 5, though, if you do 7, it could get kind of bulky, especially if you're going to be decorating each sleeve. I've had several people request or ask me if I'm going to be doing a mini of my chickens. So I started taking pictures of the chicks last night, and I posted Nugget's photo close-up on my Facebook. You can totally make your own toilet paper roll center out of lightweight chipboard if you would like. It's just easier. It's a great way to recycle something that you already have around the house. You can also use paper towel roll centers if you're kind of skeeved out by the toilet paper, but again, sanitizing them in the microwave takes care of any possible ickies. Yes, I did show that at the beginning I ran mine through my Cuttlebug to squish them down. But if you have whatever your die cutting machine is, just between the plates, as though you're embossing, works out nicely. It gives you nice creases, keeps it flat. Yeah, at the beginning, because this is, I think, take 3, we had some technical difficulties in the first part of the video, and I am recording this. I did show, I saved one roll unsquished, and I showed how I squished it with the, between the plates of my Cuttlebug. So I have one last page to do, and I already have the back cover on. There's no such thing as late to the party. It's being recorded, and anyone will fill you in of what you might have missed if you logged in later. I just thought it might be fun to do Friday Fun Bits on Ustream one day. Kind of different perspective. Especially since I missed last week, so I'm trying to make it up by doing something more than just asking a question. And then for those of you who do go on to make toilet paper roll minis, I would love to see them as video responses. That'd be great. I'm not sure how well your overweight cat could squish down the toilet paper rolls, but I suppose that is a technique. You'll have to let us know whether that's worked for you. I probably could have flattened this under my tuchus. Mat stacks are nice to use, 6x6s are nice to use. I did pull out 2 sheets from an 8x8 paper because I happen to have an 8x8 glitz design that had similar pattern on it, or nicely coordinating pattern. I like using smaller scale for small projects like this because sometimes larger scale just looks really out of place when you trim it down to, you know, these 4 1/8 by whatever the size is of the toilet paper roll, a little under 2 3/4. So it's nice to have the smaller scale. So as you can envision, the larger scale of this glitz paper on the 12x12, the roses would take up big chunks of the space, whereas the scaled down version from the 6x6 is just the right scale for something this small. So that's the back page. So now that I've finished inking for now, you see my surface area is all grungy. I'm going to clean that up, and my hands, before progressing, ooh, sorry, squeaky chair, before moving on, I have a little moist wipe I'm going to use on my desk surface, which will also clean up my fingers. Two birds, one stone, and you'll see just how much ink is on there in a second. Look at that. Just wiping my fingers down so I'm not transferring ink to white paper that I'm about to use for the tags. Wipe the surface down in my hands. Okay. Just gonna use some antibacterial. Kind of anal retentive when it comes to this kind of stuff. Cleaner's better. Right, let me just make sure I have no ink under my nails. And now we can move on to the next step. So I'm going to move my ATG out of the way for now, so I can mock fit the mini. We've got the, just going to clip it first for a minute. So I have 5 pages, or 5 pockets, and I have some pre-cut tags, and this is the, hold on, I'll grab the actual die. It's the tag and tie die. That's the size of the tag that fits nicely inside. I believe it's tag number 5's standard size. So they fit perfectly inside the toilet paper. See? But as you could see, they're very, very white. And this is a distress theme, or it's definitely a distress look, so they really stick out like a sore thumb. They'll be bound at the end so they won't slip through. But I like the size of these, even though they hang out of the toilet paper, because even the hole hangs out, so you could really embellish this part without bulking up the entire center, or the center of this. So now we just have to decide. I can use seam binding, I could use trims. Let me take a look and see which trims might match, and then we could start putting together various things. So I know this is going to be the cover. I'm just going to clip these together off to the side. I just love this paper. I'm so surprised that I'm not ordinarily a pink girl, but those colors just, I think it's because it's pink and brown, they're just really lovely together. So let me see if I have some of this really pretty dainty trim and tiny little butterflies. Some pink flowers. Some crochet flowers. Sorry, I know some people really don't like that crunching sound, but to me it sounds like fun. Okay, I also pulled out this large flowers. These are number 5. The tags are number 5 tag, and I cut them with, I think it's a standard number 5 size tag, but I cut them with the Movers and Shapers tag and tie die from Sizzix. It's this one, and you can actually drop in movers and shapers, which would cut out that image. I think I have one that I did like that. Having the mover and shaper inside the tag cuts that out, so you can either back it with, let's say if I wanted to back it with some decorative paper, because I had all these little leftovers, which is a great way to use that up. For example, placing this behind it would make a great image, and then sandwich another tag in back of it. Let me show you. Actually, let's do that. Let's make that one. And I have other movers and shapers I could use, so maybe we should do that. That will tie in the design. So I'm just going to trim off like that. And I'm going to apply a little bit of glue and another tag behind it. So if I want the tag on this side, I'm going to flip it over and just apply a bead of glue. I'm using this quick dry just around the periphery of the cutout image. And I'm going to place the designer pattern paper down over it. And I know that would be squishing, so I have a paper towel. Wipe it off. And then in order to use it as a tag for journaling or whatever, I'm going to grab another tag and sandwich it like this. There's more than one here. And sandwich it like that. So I'm just going to use ATG on this side. Okay, this is a good time to show this. You see the tape is not taut. That's going to cause it to not reel out. Let's just open this. Not reel out well. So all you do is open it, leave this underpressed, and then just tighten this. Just a little, not to a point where it snaps, but just enough so this is back tight again. I leave off. And now I can use my stand up and meet technique. So you take, if you're adhering two pieces of the same size, put them on the flat bottom, and then with your fingertips feel up the sides. There you go. That's easier than trying to match it up manually. Now I could put a eyelet in here, or I could just use some seam binding, which I think might be nice because I just love the way that paper is distressed in the middle, or is peeking out of the middle. So now we could totally use this as the tag for this page. Okay, and that takes no effort. So let me grab a couple of my movers and shapers so we could do, since this is a nice theme, and we can introduce each of the little leftover pieces of paper and nothing will go to waste. So let me grab a couple of, and I'm even going to save this little piece. Let me grab a couple of movers and shapers. So I have a, oh, this crown would be cool. So I'm going to do the crown. Maybe a fleur-de-lis. The sewing, the little bobbin. Look how cute. This would be adorable for a little baby. It's a rattle. And I just have them sitting in my base tray because I find that's the easiest way for me to keep track of them. This is a little too large, I think. So I think maybe these 3. What else do I have? Maybe a keyhole, but the smaller one. You are correct, Natasha. I have a lot of toys. So I think maybe these 4. Let me move that. Let me grab my base plates or my B plates. And the B plates I use are Schmaltzy because I don't really care what they look like, and I alternate them. So I'm going to put that B plate down, take out the dress form, put in the crown. And I think I'm going to put the crown in towards the top. See how that runs through. So this would look lovely with maybe some ticking behind it. Like that. So let me punch out the rest of them. So I did the crown. Let's do fleur-de-lis towards the bottom. And I'm sorry you're out of frame. Let me see if I can move my camera without too much distress. There you go. So here's, I've put the fleur-de-lis at the bottom. And since I've already cut these tags, I'm just placing them back in, but you could cut the whole tag and everything all at the same time with the mover and shaper in. Watch out for the flip back. I've taken out a nail or 2 that way. So here's a fleur-de-lis. And I'm saving the actual cutout fleur-de-lis as well. And let's do the little keyhole. Maybe on this corner. Grab another tag. And we're definitely not going to be able to finish this in one sitting, so I'm going to stop streaming shortly, and there'll be recorded shows, and I will try to come back after I log off of work today and stream maybe another hour or so. And this will be the project that I want to finish over the course of this weekend. So if you see me streaming, that's what I'll be working on. So here's a little keyhole, really cute. And then let's do one more, and then I'll put back them. And the little spool, I'm going to do this just a little off center like this. Grab another. And I have another idea I'll show you in a second. Something that I thought I did not like but actually works for this application. So let me just run this through and then I'll show you. This is the last one to cut through. Sorry, that's the mail carrier. everybody's scared of you. Alright, so we have this cute spool. Chickens are good. The dogs really don't really care much about the chickens. Okay, so we have the fleur-de-lis crown, and I'll show you something that I had done earlier in the week that I wasn't thrilled about, but will work for this application. The 3D butterfly punch. So that makes 6, so that's going to be the 6 that I'm going to use. So now hopefully I have enough. And I have my glue, and let's see, the butterfly, I think I might do, that's perfect, look at that. I'm going to do this for the butterfly. I'm going to add the glue just around the body of the butterfly. Just a little bead of it because this does seep out, plus I'm going to also use my ATG. This is just the right size that I have left over from that piece. So this will be the 3D butterfly. Hi Sarah, welcome back. We're just making tags. And this is a window. We cut them out with like these and we're backing them up. So now I'm gonna grab the, oh no, I have these already. So now we're just gonna double them up, so it's gonna make them sturdier. Okay. So I'm just gonna apply ATG to this side. And I think once I finish off these tags, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to log off for now so I can go back to work since I was taking a break. So I'm lining them up with a paper in between. Now I have a sturdier tag with a little image of the paper in the background. So that's going to be one. This one I wanted to use the ticking, which I think will be nice. Oh, this grunge piece would be great. So I'm just going to trim off a piece. Like this. This one will just be a little flatter, but it goes in. So I'm going to run a little bead of glue around the outside. Clean up. And grab another clean tag. Line them up. There you go. It's another one. And once they're cut, obviously, it doesn't take much time to put them together. So for the fleur-de-lis, Boutoir might be nice. I'm trying to use up my little scrap pieces as much as possible because I hate to waste, but nothing's going to go to waste here because we've been, actually I think I'm going to save 12 for the little keyhole. I think the polka dot might be nice behind the fleur-de-lis. Perfect, like that effect. I will try to be back around 3. I think we've gotten a green light to log off early today. So lucky. I will be back then. What do you girls say? That'd be good. So we can put a bigger dent into the mini. Again, always wipe off this glue because it's quick dry, but then it becomes tacky, and you don't want your pieces to be sticking to anything else, especially when you're trying to slide them into. Yeah, I'm sorry. I usually am streaming later or around dinner time because my husband comes home late. But today I thought I would give everybody a break and stream earlier. Just want to make sure that I tuck in all of the extra pieces. And again, because I have these movers and shapers, you didn't need to make the windows. I could have just cut them out and adhered them on top of the tag. But I kind of like the idea of the double tag and the little window. So let me see what I want to use for this little toile piece. Oh, I like this little girl peeking out right there. And again, I'm saving all these little pieces. I'm not going to let them go to waste. It would be great to use punches, however, I don't have a lot of punches. I could probably muster some up, but I don't really... Oh, I applied the glue on the wrong side. See, this is what happens when you're not paying attention. Oh, I got to it quickly enough that it's not tacky. Yeah, for those of you who are making some and you have punches to use and you don't have movers or shapers, or you have a punch that you think would be really cute as a little window, you are correct, I do not need any more punches. I don't need anything. I have all the toys I need. I really like the way she's peeking out through the keyhole right there. So I have one left to do, and that's the sewing one. The spool of thread. And it smells like it's going to pour, like it's going to rain, rain, rain. See, I really like that idea. It's something different, if nothing else. Let's see if this will fit. Oh, I don't know if this will fit, but no. I don't have enough widthwise. Yeah, I think I like this little 12 piece. And I'm still going to save these. I'm not tossing them. I'm just going to put them aside. I don't need them right now. Again, last bit of glue. I wish I had enough for the roses, but I don't. There's just not enough of a piece left. This is nice too. Yeah, it would have definitely covered it, but there was just not enough for me to glue it. And I guess I just didn't want to fuss with it. You know how it is sometimes. You just want to get it done. Okay, so there's the last one. And if you want to ensure a little bit extra, you could. Of course, I have this tiny little one. I need to get a bigger one. So I'm not. So there's the tags. These came together pretty quickly. So I have a fleur-de-lis, a little keyhole, a crown, a sewing thread, spool of thread, this 3D butterfly, and a dress form. So that's where we are so far. Let me grab the rest of these because now we have these tags. So here's the base. Everything is covered. And we have tags for each of the little sleeves. Oh, I have an extra one. I had 6. It's okay, I'll pop one in here. So there'll be 2. 2 will fit in each one. I think I'm going to make a simple binding, but I will show that this afternoon. For now, I'm just going to clip this together so everything's together. And then we have all sorts of embellishments to use, including these gorgeous roses. I think I'm going to use one of these for the center. And then on the cover, I want to use one of these stickers from this set. I haven't decided which one. One of these advertising stickers. So we have plenty to play with later on. I do however, have to log off for now because I have to go back to work. But for those of you who are able to join me today for this 2-part session, thank you so much. What I'm going to do is, because it is still, I am recording this, I'm going to stop the recording, and I will be back later on this afternoon, and I will I will tweet and I will post a message on Facebook when I am going to be going live as soon as I'm live here as well. Thank you everyone for stopping by. Stay tuned for part 2.